Hi everyone, my name is Roshan and today I'd like to go over the Spring Boot web application which I have made for a help queue management system. So essentially this is a ticket management system and I'm starting with my backend project structure. So I have followed MVC architecture, that is model view controller, and here is my main application, Java application file. And as you can see, my folder structure, it has controllers, it has models, and internally I do have ticket models, which would be the ticket which gets created, and it has all of these fields connected. And I use an at the rate entity annotation. So basically, it will create the schema automatically in the MySQL part. So this is like pretty much structure of my like backend project, and I'm using a repository. So the ticket repository is internally extending the JPA repository. So I don't have to explicitly override or write my CRUD applications. So that is the benefit of using the JPA repository. And similarly, I do have my ticket service, which would essentially get all the data from the controllers and would do the calls to the repository. So that is my overall project structure on the backend part. Now, the another thing which I would like to go is my project structure on the GitHub. So I do have my GitHub project structure, which is a HelpQ application. Okay, and it takes my backend folder as well as my UI folder, which is made using React. And I have my Jenkins setup. So if I go to settings and if I go to the webhooks, I can see my Jenkins server already connected to my Git repository. So it would automatically detect any of the changes which are made to the repository. And another thing which I would like to cover is my project structure. Okay, so here is my UI project. So it is made in React, and I will use React components. So these are the components which I have created to do internal calls to the backend services. And I'm using the ticket service which would do HTTP calls using Axios library, and once that is done, I do have my Jenkins setup. So if I just do my CAD, my Jenkins file, it would show me like all of my passwords and my folder structure. Apart from that, I would like to go over my Terraform and Ansible setup. So this is another instance where I do have my Terraform setup. So if I go to my project directory and if I go to the Terraform directory and if I just print the main.tf file, it is a sample hello world Terraform setup which takes my AWS credentials, which takes my region, and it takes my image ID of the instance which I want to create. Now, similarly, I do have my Ansible setup, but the only thing which I want to consider here is that I have my like project set up through AWS instances. So let me just go over that. So if I go to my AWS dashboard, I have my gateway setup, then I do have my VPC setup as well as my subnet setups. So these are the manual creations which I have done, although I have like worked on the Hello World and sample projects which are done through the Terraform and Ansible. And the next thing I would like to highlight is my Docker setup. So I have a instance where I do have my Docker setup, and I have essentially files which are created for Docker frontend as well as like backend images. So if I just do cat my Docker frontend file, it would essentially copy the new Nginx configurations to my Nginx slash Nginx.configuration folder. And similarly, I do have my Docker file set up for the backend as well. So it takes my snapshot jar and it goes to the destination folder. And essentially, this would create a container. Once I push this image to the Docker Hub, it would create a container, and that container would be orchestrated using Kubernetes. So let me just go over my Docker Hub. So if you see my Docker Hub, it has all the images created. Uh, One is for front end, one is for back end, and one was for the initial engineering setup. And once that is done, I can just get those images load to my Kubernetes setup. So here is my Kubernetes instance. Okay, so if I just like show my Kubernetes files, so I'll just go to home Ubuntu, and as you can see, I have my Kubernetes files for my backend deployment, my backend service, similarly for my backend pods. And let me just cover the backend parts. If I just do cat backend pod.yaml, so what it takes is it takes my backend image, which I just pushed to Docker, and this is one of the pod which is created. Similarly, I have my backend deployment. What it will do is it will essentially make three replicas of my backend pods, and the image which it will be using would be the backend image. And the same goes for the service. So my deployment and my service, they like my service is named as backend, and I need to make sure like this is the same service which is taken up by the pods and the deployment as well. And same stuff goes for my load balancer as well. So I do have my load balancer pods which are set up. It takes the front end part because like that would be the starting point of my like main application. And similarly, I have my load balancer services. So here I have to explicitly specify the type which is a load balancer, and the same goes for my front end deployment as well. So let me just show my front end service first. So front end service, again, it is a service, and I've named my service as front end. And I have my front end pod set up as well, which takes my Docker front end image and puts it inside a container. So once that is done, I can just do kubectl get pods. So what it will show me, it will show me all the pods which I've created for the backend, and all the pods which I've created for the front end, and all the pods which I've created for my load balancer as well. Now, coming to the most important part, which is my project structure. So, let me so here is my main project which runs on an AWS instance, okay, and it shows me all the list of tickets which I have created, and it shows the like oldest ticket at the top, and I have a functionality where if I click on any particular ticket, it would show me the ticket details on the right side of the view, and as you can see, the title, the description, and the status. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm doing all the CRUD operations at the first. So, this is a view page, and if I have a button to create a ticket, and what it asks me is, it asks me for like a page where I have to input my title as well as my description. So here is a new ticket which I will be creating, and it says that you have created the ticket successfully. So basically, that should come up in my view page now. And here I have another option to create another ticket as well. So let's go to the view page. So as you can see, the test 999 ticket is created here. I have a functionality to delete all the tickets at one point of time. And so create part is done. I can read all of my tickets here as well. And now let's try to edit the ticket. So let's say I change the title to from 9999 to 007. And if I click on update, it would update the ticket. It shows a success message, and here we go. Like as you can see, my title is updated. So I think like this is the overall CRUD like, operations which are performed on my ticket management system. I do have like this functionality which we implemented as well. But apart from that, this is essentially like the overview about my project.